Call the May 13th Village Board meeting to order. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Trustee Debbie Blatzer for her last time. Okay, tonight's a little bit unusual. We have two board meetings. The second one, we will be appointing two re-elected as well as a new trustee. So we will kick it off with a roll call, please.
Okay, trustee, yes, Maher, you start tonight. Okay, trustee Maher.
Here.
McClafferty, absent. Stigowski.
Here.
Stapleton.
Here.
Blatzer. Here. Kwasniewski. Okay,
Okay, thank you, Charlene. Okay, we have a lengthy consent agenda. First off, we need the approval of minutes for the April 15th Village Board meeting, as well as the April 15th Village Cow meeting. We need approval of disbursements. We have an ordinance approving a plat of dedication for a right-of-way in the village of Lamont. We have, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9 different addresses. Again, this is an ordinance approving a plat of dedication for a right-of-way in the village of Lamont at 499 5th Street, Lamont, Illinois, 495 5th Street, 491 5th Street, 489 5th Street, address 485 on 5th Street, 479 on 5th Street, 467 on 5th Street, 461 on 5th Street, and last but not least, an ordinance on 455 5th Street. In addition, we have 9 ordinances releasing and vacating a certain right-of-way. Again, this is vacating and releasing a certain right-of-way. Again, we have 9 different addresses at 499 5th Street, Lamont, Illinois, at 495 5th Street, at 491 5th Street, at 489 5th Street, address 485 5th Street, 479 5th Street, 461 5th Street, 467 5th Street, and 455 5th Street. We also have a resolution authorizing approval of a memorandum of understanding with East Side owners on 5th Street. We also have a resolution authorizing the purchase of softener salt from Compass Minerals and Midwest Salt LLC. We have a resolution authorizing purchase of water meters from Water Resources, Inc. And we have a resolution authorizing execution of Amendment Number 2 to intergovernmental funding agreement with Metra to facilitate the repair of a certain commuter facility in Lamont, Illinois. I need a motion, please.
So move.
second.
Okay, we have a motion by Trustee Stapleton, seconded by Trustee Blatzer. George, you want to comment on these?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Typically, consent agenda items don't require a whole lot of comment, but I did want to just go over real quick all the agenda items regarding Fifth Street. We've been attempting to address several issues down Fifth Street: lack of utilities, lack of dedicated right-of-way. There's also an easement on the back side of the properties on the east side of Fifth Street. So many different issues we've been working with. And last meeting, we approved a ordinance authorizing easements to run a water utility down Fifth Street. This week, we're able to clean up the land dedication issue, so the majority of the property owners on the east side have agreed to dedicate 15 feet of right-of-way that can be included officially as Fifth Street, as a Fifth Street Road right-of-way. In exchange, there is a release of an easement or a right-of-way that was platted 120 years ago, Jerry, about give or take a decade. That was originally the old Fifth Street, the original section of Fifth Street will be vacated, no longer needed by the village. So that swap is occurring with all these different ordinances. We'll get these recorded with the county, and the project, the water main project, will move forward. And still a couple more steps left on addressing these issues on Fifth Street, but this is a major step. I want to thank Jerry Johnson and the rest of the residents on Fifth Street for coming in and signing documents, and we'll get these recorded in timely order so we can move forward on the project. Thank you.
I got one question.
ahead, Rick.
Mayor. Ralph, maybe you can grab this one. CSD Environmental Services, what is that one for? You got any? CSD.
On the consent?
Yeah, it's on the consent agenda. It's for 13.6. It's for environmental services, so, okay, if you don't have it tonight, I'd just like to know what that is next week. Yeah, it's on the ledger, so yeah, I just wanna, okay, thanks.
Got it. Okay, anything else? Again, appreciate the cooperation, Jerry, and your fellow neighbors of making progress there on Fifth Street. Again, change is not always easy, and we appreciate working with those landowners. And with that being said, roll call, please, on the consent agenda.
Okay. Maher?
Yes.
McClafferty absent. Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Blatzer?
Yes.
Kwasniewski?
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. Okay, we got a couple of items. We're going to head down to the podium. First off, we're going to start with the recognition of the Lamont High School Rho Kappa. We have a recognition for that group. If you could please join me at the podium. Well, Caroline and Aubrey, thanks for joining us tonight. Caroline and Aubrey is representatives of the Rho Kappa National Social Study and History Honor Society. Did I have that correct? Yeah. All right, awesome. So we have a certificate of appreciation for this society in their charter year with 42 members. Their mission is to spread awareness and appreciation for history and its role in our daily lives. Through their community service, they aim to preserve and promote both the collection and creation of our village's rich history. As part of their community service, members of Rho Kappa have been volunteering their time after school at Village Hall to aid us in a record retention project. They have provided over 40 hours of voluntary time since February of this year. So on behalf of the entire village board, I present Rho Kappa with this certificate of appreciation for preserving and promoting Lamont's rich history. All right. Next up, we have a very important promotion. We are promoting Mr. Dan Dykeshorn to Police Commander. Dan, would you please come up? All right. Dan, we have oath of office. So if you want to repeat after me. I, Dan Dykeshorn, having been appointed as Police Commander in the Village of Lamont, counties of Cook, Will, and DuPage, Illinois,
in the Village of Lamont, counties of Cook, Will, and DuPage, Illinois,
do solemnly swear that I will support
do solemnly swear that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of said office
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of said office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Dan, congratulations.
I'm going to have Dan introduce a couple of guests that he has with us. Can you introduce your parents and your in-laws?
Sure. I have my dad, Dave, my mom, Nancy, and my mother-in-law, Nadine.
he also has with us. He also has with us his wife Mary and his kids Colin, Nolan, and Dana. I'm gonna say a couple things about Dan, and then we're going to have his wife come up and actually pin his commander's badge on him. But Dan's been with us since the year 2000. He graduated from the police course, which was a program where they started in Illinois, where guys can go to college and go to the police academy while they were going through college. And Dan's the only one that the Village of Lamont received from that program. But he was promoted in 2015 to sergeant. In the course of his time, he spent a lot of years as our SRO at the high school, and I still hear a lot of good things about him there. Since January, when Dan Tully retired, Dan's been acting in the capacity as our administrative commander. He's doing a phenomenal job, and the promotion's well deserved. So, Mary, why don't you come up and we'll pin his commander star on. All right, there it is.
Thanks, Chief. All right, Dan, congrats again. All right, next up, we have a proclamation for our 20-year elected official, Debbie Blatzer. This is Debbie's last day on the job, and we have a proclamation for her. She said if she breaks down, it's not necessarily because of this. She's got an ill dog at home.
And my daughter's graduating high school and going away to school. It's going to be a tough one, too.
So
Lot of changes.
it's okay, Debbie, you shed a tear. So, but let me first start off with the proclamation. Whereas on April 13th, 1999, Debbie A. Blatzer was chosen by the people of Lamont to serve as their elected representative on the village board. And whereas for the past 20 years, Debbie has devoted a substantial amount of personal time attending meetings, local functions, and contributing to the community and fulfilling her duties of village trustee with honor and dedication. And whereas Debbie Blatzer has provided leadership and advocacy for the preservation and improvement of the Village of Lamont's infrastructure while serving as Public Works liaison, and whereas through her multiple terms as Village of Lamont trustee, Debbie Blatzer has served selflessly, with dignity and commitment in serving the best interests of the Village of Lamont and its residents. And now, therefore, I, John Agofsky, Mayor Lamont, on behalf of the entire community and with the concurrence of past and present mayors, trustees, volunteers, and staff members that have served with Debbie, hereby express our gratitude to Debbie Blatzer for her 20 years of committed service to the people of Lamont, and hereby commend Debbie Blatzer for demonstrating outstanding citizenship and service to the Village of Lamont and its residents. So before I give this to you, Debbie, you have one last vote here. I need a motion to make this proclamation official.
So moved.
All right, we have a
Second.
we have a first by Debbie, seconded by Rick. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. It's official. There you go, Debbie.
Thank you all. I have a few words, which anybody who knows me knows that that's probably what I would do. So, First, want to say it's been an honor and a privilege to serve as trustee for the last 20 years. It's a responsibility I didn't take lightly, and it requires a lot of time. Anyone who's an elected official, appointed person, volunteer, you know it takes time away from your family, but it's a responsibility that you love. So I'm very grateful to the community that granted me this opportunity. As I mentioned, my daughter Ryan's about to graduate from high school, and we were talking, and she's like, Mom, why are you going off the board? And I realized she's never known me not to be on the board because her whole life I've been a trustee. So it's a little bit of an adjustment. I appreciate the family and the friends that helped me with being able to be on the board with the activities, the events, the conferences. I'd like to thank my sister Patty, who's not here, my mom, who's here. So Mom Ellen, wave your hand. My husband Paul is here, and then of course my daughter Ryan. I couldn't have done it without their support. It's not easy balancing family and work and village responsibilities, so maybe it's a little bit harder for the women that have been on the board, and I'd like to express my admiration for those who have served before me. Barb Bushman's here, and she actually went off the board right when I went on, and she's been a role model for me, so I'm glad that you're here. And also to Connie Markevich, Mary Studebaker, Jeanette Virgilio, who I believe is here. There she is, hiding in the back. So I thank all of you for leading the way. I'm especially happy that Janelle Kittredge will be taking my place on the board later this evening. I know she'll do an awesome job, and I'm very pleased that it's her. In my tenure, I've served with 4 mayors, 15 trustees, and 1 village clerk. She's done that for about 34 years, so, I look like a little junior compared to her, but anyway, I appreciate all the people that I have served with. They've been very dedicated, devoted to the town. I've been very proud to serve with them. All of the people that I've served with have each done something significant in helping the village get where it is today. I've learned it is a little bit of a thankless position at times, and that you can lose friends over it, or people maybe that you thought were your friends, but you have to do what you feel is best and vote your conscience, and realize it's best to do what's important for the village overall, without forgetting, too, that there are individuals that also need that attention. We have great staff in this village, amazing staff. First, it's been a pleasure to serve as a liaison to our Public Works Department. They're very committed to the village. They work night and day to make sure that our village needs are met, and we always hear that these are the best roads in town when there's snow, and that is true. They handle water repairs, vehicle repairs, the quarry areas, so anything that needs doing, the Public Works Department is involved in that. And they do make sure that we have the best quality water. Now, I do remember my very first time I went to the Public Works Department for a visit right after I was elected, and I was meeting all the staff there, and one of the supervisors there put me on the spot and said, so, hey, what are your plans for this department? I was like, plans, well, so thank you, Ralph. I appreciate that. Yep, haven't forgotten that, so thank you. That was nice. But actually, all the Public Works guys and gals that are there are wonderful to work with, and I really appreciate the family-like atmosphere that they have there. I do want to also send a special thanks to our police department and to Lima. I know we have some of those fine officers here, and I think Tommy, is he still here from Lima? He left? Okay, figures. Thanks, Tom. I'm recognizing you now. So, but they work tirelessly 24/7 to keep our village safe, and on top of that, they're involved in all kinds of fundraisers and charitable events. They truly care about the residents, and they're great to work with. So I look forward to seeing you guys somewhere around town, just hopefully not behind me with your lights on when I'm in the car. I also can't say enough about the other village staff that work in finance, community development, building, administration. They do incredible work to make sure that we have a balanced budget, that we're fiscally responsible, that we bring in new businesses, which, we seem to be having a lot more coming in now, which is great. They enforce our building codes. They're very diligent. They work well with builders. They work well with residents. And they often work long hours beyond their normal here to make sure that the job is done right. I've worked with 4 village administrators, and I have to say that George Schaefer is top-notch, and it's been a pleasure to work with you, and you're a great asset to the village, George, so I really appreciate all that you've done for me and for everyone. to Linda Molitor, who is the executive assistant, kind of the power behind the throne. So I appreciate everything that you do for all of us, and a lot of it is behind the scenes, and you don't know how much time Linda puts in, but she's also wonderful to work with as well. So for all of you that are here, the board and the staff members, I will really miss being able to see you on a regular basis, and maybe being able to give some input on some things, because now you won't care if I don't like something. But I'm confident, though, and very happy in the direction that the village is going, and I know that we're headed for bigger and brighter things, and I appreciate all of you so very much. And do we have any Game of Thrones fans out there? Anybody? Game of Thrones, okay? Really? Really? All right, well, this won't mean anything to you then, but my final word would be, now my watch has ended. That's from Game of Thrones, so thank you all very much.
Thank you, Debbie, and I've only had the honor for 2 years, so I appreciate your level-headedness. The one thing I always recognize with you is that decisions we make are not always supposed to be your personal decision, right? And you've always made it for the good of the town, even though it might not be, 100%, and that's what it's all about. But again, congratulations, and we're going to miss you.
Thank you, John.
Anyone else have any other parting thoughts, comments? All right.
Yeah, Debbie, just congratulations and thank you for all your service to Lamont. I talked to Gary Holmes earlier, or late last week, and previous administrator for Lamont, and Ben Waymeyer. And from a staff standpoint, on behalf of everybody, congratulations, thank you. As a trustee, you make our job a lot easier, just being accessible, responsive. If we have any questions based on, being the senior trustee, wondering why a vote took place, 20 years ago, and the reasons behind it, the story, you're always able to provide that background. But no, I mean, thank you very much for all your help, and we wish you very well in retirement, and Lamont wouldn't be the way it is right now if it wasn't for your leadership from a board level. So thank you very much.
Thank you, George.
Okay, with that being said, we're going to open it up for audience participation. If anyone has any thoughts or comments, please feel free to come up to the podium. Anyone? All right, well, we'll move on then. Okay, next up, we have the clerk's report.
Okay, thank you. The first ordinance, if passed this evening, would be O-35-19, and this is granting a certain variation to 17.07.010 and Table 17-07-01 of the Lamont Unified Development Ordinance to allow a reduced front yard setback for a front porch in the addition to at 503 Singer Avenue in Lamont, Illinois.
Okay, we need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Snagowski, seconded by trustee Blatzer. Jason, you gonna take this?
Thank you, yeah. This item was heard at the April Planning and Zoning Commission and the April Historic Preservation Commission for a certificate of appropriateness. This is a home located on Singer in our historic district, and the homeowner is rehabbing and restoring the home to its original appearance. Excited to get this approved in this month, as May is Historic Preservation Month for the National Park Service, so it's nice to see a historic preservation project come up today. Staff at PCC and HBC recommend approval.
Okay, thanks, Jason. Any other comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Maher?
Yes.
McClafferty absent. Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Blatzer?
Yes.
Kwasniewski.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved.
The next item on the agenda, if passed this evening, will be a resolution, and this will be Resolution R-43-19. And this is awarding the Village of Lamont Banking Services request for the proposals to the First Midwest Bank.
Okay, need a motion, please.
So moved.
Moved.
Okay, motion by trustee Blatzer, seconded by trustee Snagowski. Chris?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, this was a lengthy process. We began the process in November of 2018 with an RFP for banking services. Our contract was up. It was a 5-year contract, and our contract was up. So we did an RFP for banking. We had 4 responders, and First Midwest came back with a proposal that would yield an additional $30,000 to $40,000 per year, which is greater than all the other competitors. Nadine Johnson is here if the board has any questions. The staff is proposing, we proposed it at the COW meeting on April 15th that we retain the services with First Midwest.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
I have to say, those were some of the most exciting meetings I've ever been part of. But Nadine, thanks for coming out. You guys earned it. Again, additional savings of $30,000 to $40,000 a year, and interest is huge for the village. So with that being said, any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Maher?
Yes.
McClafferty absent. Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Blatzer?
Yes.
Kwasniewski.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved.
The next resolution, if passed this evening, would be R-44-19, and this is approving an agreement of the Bluestone Single Tenant Properties Limited.
Okay, need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, motion by trustee Blatzer, seconded by trustee Snagowski. George, you gonna take this?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a professional services agreement with Bluestone Single Tenant Properties LLC to provide master development services for the village and its Route 83 and Main village-owned site. A little bit of background, we've talked about this at a couple committee of the wholes. It's been a long process, but I'll just kind of go through it. If any questions, please let me know. But from 2011 to 2015, the village purchased property and started to assemble property in the 83 and Main area, totaling approximately 16 acres, located within the Main and Archer TIF and adjacent towards to the Gateway TIF out at 83 and Main. Back in 16-17, the village went out for a comprehensive RFP process. It was probably a little bit early for the site to go out through that process. Didn't receive a whole lot of interest that moved to an agreement. So over the last 2 years, staff, Jason Berry's department, myself, we've reached out to several brokers, contacts to try to find a new partner for the 83 and Main site. And after significant negotiation and discussion with several different groups, staff's now able to recommend an agreement with Bluestone Single Tenant to move forward with master development services for the site. The agreement outlines terms for relationship between the two parties. Again, there will be multiple opportunities for public meetings in the future for secondary agreements as we move forward. This agreement outlines terms for the relationship and the scope of services. It also outlines a base rate, base price for the land should the property, the development come to fruition. I'll just kind of go through real quick the scope of services and then get into the terms of the agreement. The agreement, basically, the early part of the process and working with Bluestone, we asked Bluestone to put together a master development services agreement. It's a very complicated site, as we all know, and especially when we're putting multiple users onto the site. There's environmental issues. There's several issues with IDOT, so we needed some support to move the project forward, and this is an agreement that we've been negotiating with Bluestone. It's going to be done in 3 phases. One would be the preliminary project planning, which establish the budget, lay out the site, entitlement acquisition, which will include representation to come to the village meetings and talk to the board and planning and zoning on entitlements, and then also pre-construction. This agreement essentially would get the property ready for development, and over a little bit less than a year from now, should everything go forward. During that process, Bluestone will actively market the site. They already have commitments for a fuel center, a pump and go on the site, but they'll also market the site for other users to include with that 16-acre site. The agreement will likely lead to a successor agreement with Bluestone for tax circumvention finance assistance, but that will happen down the line after we've had more meetings and more discussion with the developer. Real quick on the as part of the agreement as well, we also wanted to define the base uses. Again, everything still has to come through for zoning application and further discussion with the board. But it would be, again, fuel center, more of a pump and go type, no long-term overnight parking, and a couple with industrial and also a retail component. So that's the laid out uses to start the process, and The next phase would be to market the site and work with the village on actual sale contracts for the land. The financial impact of the agreement is laid out, would be a three-step approach totaling $150,000 for professional services. Again, each phase would be kicked off with a $50,000 payment, so if the project doesn't move forward, the village is only on the hook for the first phase at this point, which would be $50,000. The agreement would essentially cover all the soft costs, all the studies, all the surveying, everything that goes with developing the site would be covered underneath that $150,000. Again, this will lead to future meetings. There will be negotiation. When there is a sale of land, there will be public hearings and there will be committee of the wholes and several opportunities for comment and review. This services agreement allows the process to move forward, the project to move forward. We're comfortable with Bluestone, and we think they'll do a good job, and it's just the first step of many, but I just wanted to kind of lay that out for the board currently where we are with the project.
Thanks, George. And just from a numbers perspective, obviously, this has been a, probably one of, if not number one B as far as properties that we've been looking to develop. We've had, several developers come in, countless meetings. Again, Jason and your staff, appreciate your time and effort in bringing this together. We've been doing this for over 2 years now. The financials, just to give a backdrop here, right now we have over $7.5 million into the land as far as costs, marketing, financial costs. In return, we are going to get $2.7 million from the buyer, but more importantly, this is a TIF project. This project is going to generate $1 million annually, correct, George? $1 million annually over the next 20 some odd years. A piece of that will have to go back to the developer. Again, we're looking at maybe, round numbers, maybe a third of that. But again, this is a substantial win over time. But again, this has been a major effort on the behalf of staff to bring this together. We would love to have a movie theater out there, a hotel, and all retail. This is a difficult site. We're right on the border of industrial. We're right on the border of the canals and waterways down there, and I think this is a mixed-use site which is appropriate, and we look forward to working with Bluestone. Again, we have a 3-step agreement with them. $50,000 per step. Each step, we could end it if we want, but we need these 3 steps done to continue to market this, and that's what we're going to do. So again, thank you, staff, and with that being said, any other thoughts or comments? Okay, with that being said, roll call, please.
Maher?
Yes.
McClafferty absent. Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Blatzer?
Yes.
Kwasniewski?
Abstain.
Okay, approved.
Okay, the next item, pages are sticking here, would be R-45-19, and that's authorizing the award of a contract for the 2019 water main improvement project.
Okay, need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Blatzer, seconded by trustee Kwasniewski. Ralph?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a resolution for the 2019 water main replacement project. We'll be replacing some water main on Eureka Avenue, Florence Street, Mayfair Court, and Prune. The Mayfair Court and Prune projects are 2 main feeds for our downtown. They're important projects we need to get done. There was 4 bids on this project, with the low bid coming in at $635,914 from Conley Excavating out of Morris. We've dealt with Conley before. We're happy with their work. So staff recommendation is to award the contract to Conley for $635,914. And I do anticipate this project to start probably the 3rd week of June.
Thanks, Ralph. Any other comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Maher?
Yes.
McClafferty absent. Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Blatzer?
Yes.
Kwasniewski?
Yes.
Okay, and before we get to the next one again, that piggybacks off of our road and water improvements that we continue to do and that we now have funding for. So again, this is a much-needed project. You know, our water systems, some of them are over 100 years old. They've been mapped on the map for some of them 130 years old. So again, much-needed project, and Ralph, thanks for taking the lead on that.
Okay, the next resolution would be R-46-19, and this is authorizing the award of a contract for Meadowlark subdivision completion of the Magdalena Drive. That's at 131st Street to the cul-de-sac.
Okay, need a motion, please.
So moved.
Okay, motion by trustee Blatzer, seconded by trustee Kwasniewski. Ralph, you gonna take this too?
I will, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This subdivision has been going since 2011. It's, in my opinion, way too long. So what we wanted to do was get it wrapped up and use the letter of credit with the money we had from 2011 to complete all the work that was needed, which includes sidewalk repair, curbs, repaving the street, some catch basin repair. Also, in that scope of work, we included some tree pruning, some general maintenance, some cleaning of the sewers, which, as you see, the bid came in a bit higher than what we escrowed in 2011. So what we did was we went through the scope of work and we removed some scope of work because some of them, the pay items were way too high. They were way out of hand. So we got the price down to $104,624.70 from M&J Asphalt Company. And our staff recommendation will be to award the contract to M&J Asphalt for $104,624.70.
And I'm sorry, what was the total in escrow? Do
It
we know?
was, let's see. I don't know if I have it.
Okay, so again, this isn't, okay, so that it's more than sufficient to cover this
And the
project.
work that we removed is not going to affect the project. We can probably do most of it in-house, Mayor.
So again, this is escrowed money, not out of the
Yes.
village
Yes.
pockets. Okay, thanks, Ralph.
No, just to follow up, I mean, this is an example where, you know, while we want to grow the town, we want to do it responsibly, so all the developments that come through the queue, we require a letter of credit that's fully collateralized with a bank in good standing, and so if the project doesn't move forward or the project gets abandoned, we're able to pull on that letter of credit and fix the subdivision. So it's a success story, although it may have taken a little bit longer than we would have liked. You know, we have the funds on hand, and it won't cost the village taxpayer any more money to get the project completed.
Thanks, George. Anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Maher?
Yes.
McClafferty absent. Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Blatzer?
Yes.
Kwasniewski?
Yes.
Okay, motion approved.
The next resolution would be R-47-19, and this is approving a professional services agreement with ADS Limited. Okay.
Okay, need a motion, please.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Blatzer, seconded by trustee Kwasniewski. Ralph?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So to conform to our long-term control plan, we need to monitor the amount of combined sewer that we deliver to the MWRD plant. To do so, we have to have monitors on Stevens Street before the bridge, the Stevens Street Bridge, and north of River Road. The monitors we have currently, we've been bubble gumming together for a few years, and this is 2 new monitors and some sensors that will help us be more accurate with the flow and satisfy our contract with the IEPA, I guess, make them happy.
Yeah.
So ADS is a company we've been working with. This is the cat's meow, according to them, with the flow monitoring equipment. So staff recommendation is to award the contract and service agreement for $21,762 with ADS.
Thanks, Ralph. Any other questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Maher?
Yes.
McClafferty absent. Snagowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Blatzer?
Yes.
Kwasniewski?
Yes.
Okay, motion approved.
That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Charlene. And I have to backtrack here because we all need to do something the next few weeks. We got a couple of weeks to celebrate. I forgot the mayor's mention, so you guys can fill up your schedules with this. So first off, last week was the 50th Annual Municipal Clerks Week, in which we recognize our village clerk, Charlene Smolad. For the vital services of the clerk's office that she provides to our community and municipality, we thank you, Charlene, as being in your 34th year as village clerk.
Yes, that's true.
Awesome.
Long time.
Also, National Economic Development Week was also last week. We recognize our very own Community Development Department Director, Jason Berry. For all the work that not only him, but his staff as well, that they do to stimulate job creation, attract new businesses, and aiding in the growth and development of our community. So again, thank you, Jason. Also, National Police Week began yesterday and continues through May 18th. We recognize Chief Mayton and our public police department for their role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens in our community, safeguarding their life and property, protecting them against violence or disorder, and protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression or intimidation. We also observe Wednesday, May 15th, as Peace Officers Memorial Day in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have lost their lives or have become disabled in the performance of duty, and recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes. So to Chief and our department and all departments across the state, please, let's have a hand for them. Thank you, Chief, and thank you to your department. You guys do an awesome job. Also, last but not least, Public Works Week is May 19th through the 25th. We recognize our Public Works Department and Director, Ralph Pakula. Give Ralph a hand. For providing integral services from maintaining public facilities, roads, sewer and water systems, trees, vehicles, and emergency services, including snow removal. Our village's health, safety, and comfort greatly depends on the dedicated efforts of our public works staff. So again, Ralph, thank you and your team. Awesome job. Also, this Friday is Cops on a Rooftop. We will be at both Dunkin' Donuts, right, Chief? Where our police, okay, so I'm taking your thunder a little bit here.
Top Billy.
It'll heighten the awareness and raise donations. I'll leave the rest to Chief, but next up, we have the Lamont Park District will host the Lamont Rocks. It's a rock painting event on Saturday, May 18th at 10 a.m. at the Park District Centennial Park Pavilion. Visit lamontparkdistrict.org for more information. Also, our Lamont Legends Cruise Nights begin Wednesday, June 5th from 6 to 9 p.m. That kicks off the season. Again, it's in downtown Lamont. Visit their new website, myhcba.com, for more information. That's exciting because we know summer's coming when we have our first one. Also, the Lamont Farmers Market will begin on June 11th with Tuesdays on Talcott. The village will be running the market and bringing it back to Tuesdays from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. That will be at the Talcott parking lot, just outside of Bottles in Pollyanna. Please visit the website lamont.il.us for more information. With this being our only village board meeting this month, be sure to check out the community calendar on our website at lamont.il.us. So that's it for the mayor's mention. Moving on, next up, village attorney report. Mike, do we have anything?
I don't get an award?
We would have a village attorney week, but no one would acknowledge it, so.
Everyone would definitely abstain from that. Just one of our first projects with George and all your staff was 5th Street, so we're very pleased. As you can see, I we've been busy drafting ordinances, but it's, I think, done in a proper way, and we're very glad to get that done for the village. And we've been busy with other things as well, but always enjoying it. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. And again, we've, obviously, Mike and the firm, Bert Olstein, you want to introduce
I
your
apologize,
cohort?
yes. Mike Hayes, who is one of my partners, and if for some reason I won't be here, it's kind of touch and go coming back from Springfield, so Mike will be here if I'm not here as well. So I just want to introduce you. He's got a lot of experience and a lot of gray hair too. But I don't know, Mike, if you want to introduce yourself and a little your background, that'd be great.
Sure. I met some of you before the meeting started, but my name's Mike Hayes. So I've been with Ogleson and Stirk about a little over 12 years. I have a background in state government, local government, and attended a lot of meetings. So I'm a West Sider growing up, so Riverside's not too far away, I don't think. But whatever I can do to help, and hope to work with you and meet more of you as we go forward. Pleasure to be
Great.
here.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, guys. All right, next up, George, you have a report?
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, no report. All right, we do have one board report, right, Chief? You want to talk about our Friday event?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, as you said, please come join us on Friday morning. We will have our annual Cop on the Rooftop fundraiser. This is our 17th annual fundraiser that Kevin, former Chief Shaughnessy, he walked out already, but he started this up for us. We have a record number of stores participating this year in Illinois, 315. So we're going to be out there from around 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. So please, it's a great support for a great cause. If you come by and donate at least $10, you'll be able to get a Torch Run travel mug. If $20, they have some great T-shirts this year. They have the thin blue line motif. They're a really a good look. So come on by and support us. Our new commander, Dan Dykstra, is going to be up on the roof at 127th Street, and Commander Thad Mezek will be up on at McCarthy Road, and I'll be floating back and forth. B96 is going to be out at the 127th Street location, broadcasting live. So come on out and meet the radio personalities. Just a real quick, the Special Olympics, the Cup on the Rooftop goes to support Special Olympics and the Law Enforcement Torch Run, which is kind of has two goals. First is to raise money for the effort, but also to bring awareness to the athletes who compete in Special Olympics. That opening ceremonies of the Illinois Summer Games will be held on June 7th, the normal, so come on out for that as well. And it's a great cause. We hope to see you on Friday morning.
Thanks, Steve. All right. Next up, do we have any board reports or staff reports? I'm sorry, we have Chief. Any, no unfinished or new business, right? We will have executive session at our next meeting. We're not going to have it right now. So with that being said, need a motion to adjourn tonight's first meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Blatzer, seconded by trustee Snagowski. Motion, okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. We are done for this evening. Thank you, and thank you, Debbie, for all your hard work. Okay, so we're going to have a quick break here, and then we're going to have the installation of our 3 elected officials. So just hang real tight. We're just going to break for 2 minutes here. Thanks. Me by the flag here. We're going to have a special oath of office. Janelle is, this is her first term. She was just elected. And Ron Ron Stapleton and Rick Snagowski have been reelected. Can you please join me for your oath of office, please? Okay, we'll start off with Janelle. Please repeat after me. I, Janelle Kittredge, having been elected as village trustee.
I, Janelle Kittredge, having been elected as village trustee.
Go to you, Rick. I, Rick Snagowski, having been elected as village trustee.
I, Rick Snagowski, having been elected as village trustee.
And Ron Stapleton, having been elected as village trustee.
I, Ron Stapleton, having been elected as village trustee.
Please repeat after me. In the village of Lamont, the counties of Cook, Will, and DuPage of Illinois.
In the village of Lamont,
counties of Cook, Will, and DuPage, Illinois.
Do solemnly swear that I will support.
Do solemnly swear that I will support.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
And the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of said office.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of said office.
According to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Rick, Janelle, Ron, congratulations.
Take a picture.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no picture? Oh, wait, am I taking a picture? Oh, I'm sorry.
You do a picture right here. Go ahead.
Go in the middle.
Cheese.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay, with that being said, I'd like to call to order our second meeting tonight, the May 13th board meeting. Can you please stand and be led by the Pledge of Allegiance by Janelle Kittredge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, please.
Okay. This evening, we're still starting with trustee Maher. Trustee Maher?
Here.
McClafferty absent. Snagowski?
Here.
Stapleton?
Here.
Kittredge? Here. Kwasniewski?
Here.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. All right, we've already had the mayor's report in our last meeting. But again, I'd like to congratulate Janelle. Congratulations on your election.
Thank you.
Looking forward, all of us, I think I speak on behalf of the entire board, looking forward to working with you, and congrats again.
Thanks.
Also, Ron and Rick, really appreciate working with you, and congratulations both of your elections, re-elections, I should say.
Thank you.
All right. With that being said, any other comments? Anyone? Okay. All right. Do we have any audience participation? If so, please step up to the mic. Matt, we're going to have to give you the microphone. You coming up here, Matt? All right. All right. With that being said, it's going to be a quick meeting, so we're going to move forward to the clerk's report.
Okay, thank you very much. I have passed out to you the agenda, or the calendar rather, for the rest of 2019 and 2020 through May. And all meetings, of course, are going to start at 6:30. And it's pretty well, it's pretty clear here when there's just a few times there are no meetings, like if it's on Veterans Day or Columbus Day, Memorial Day, things like that. So you all have a copy of it, and I guess we need a motion to pass it if there's any discussion or not.
Okay, with that being said, need a motion, please.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Rick, seconded.
I second.
Seconded by Janelle, all right. Any questions or comments? Again, as Charlene mentioned, our board meetings are typically the second and fourth Monday of the month, with the exceptions of those 3 or 4 holidays, right?
Right.
Okay. So with that being said, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion is approved. Okay, with that being said, I don't believe we have a village attorney report, right, Mike? Are we good? All right. George, anything to say? No report. Any board reports or staff reports? Mark?
Just one real quick, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to thank all of the staff that worked on the Quarryman race this weekend. It was well organized, it went off without a hitch. This was the first year that the Park District ran the race and did it very well. I especially want to thank all of our partners in emergency management that came in from other towns to help us out, and the runners who was a record number of folks that registered for the race.
Yeah, and I second that as well, Mark. Again, this is our first year with the Park District. Appreciate, the villages, your staff, as well as the Park District and all our volunteers, and more importantly, all of our sponsors as well. That cannot happen without everyone's input. So again, appreciate another successful year. Anything else? Anyone else?
One item.
Rick?
Judy Richards. I just happened to bump into her on the way up the stairs. She's a resident and said she was just coming to find out what happens at meetings. I thank you for coming. We could use a lot more people like you attending, and appreciate your interest in what's going on.
I'm online reading, I got the agenda, but I see online, I can see the things that when you approved the minutes from the last time, I'm like, oh, there's new stuff, and I'm reading this. But I'm wondering, why are you having this second meeting? I mean, it's like having a copy of the first,
Good question. This is this only happens once every 2 years. We had our recent election here in April. So this was Debbie. Debbie did not rerun, and we had Janelle. This is her first meeting, so this is. There you go.
Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No. Yeah, and real quick, as the mayor mentioned, this is a little bit unique every 2 years. Basically, the items on the agenda tonight for the first part of the meeting, the previous board, including Debbie Blatzer, reviewed everything at a committee of the whole and was a little bit more in tune on those items that were coming up for approval. So we had the previous board approve the first part of the meeting, and then going forward now, there's very little business on the agenda for the new board. That'll change in June. I trust me. There'll be more on the agenda at the June committee of the whole and village board meeting. But that's kind of why we do it in two-step. But there are our agenda tonight included the calendar, and so we have 2 regular board meetings a month, the second Monday and the fourth Monday, and then those are televised board meetings where the board votes on resolutions and ordinances, and the mayor gives an update. And then there's the third Monday of the month, sandwich in between there is the committee of the whole. That's more of a workshop, so there are no formal votes, but the board is able to discuss with staff key issues, developments, and really work through the items before they're ready for formal approval. So actually if you want to get more involved, we have three Mondays a month, second, third, and fourth at 6:30 here at Village Hall. Based on the calendar, sometimes we will cancel a meeting. We'll give proper notice if that's the case. There's a couple on the agenda. For example, we were already talking about right after the July 4th holiday. That may end up getting canceled, but we want to err on the side of putting it on the agenda, and then we will notice the community in the paper and the website if we do cancel a meeting. And we also are able to schedule special meetings if needed, but we do need to comply with Open Meeting Act, and that has to be done in advance. But this is our standard calendar, but there are opportunities for deviations throughout the year.
which is good. And I'm just wondering, like, where is that gonna, is is that gonna go for infrastructure, for roads, for, and where would I, when can I ask that? Is that in the audience participation?
Yes, yes, and,
Just passed, so am I out of line?
no, you're fine, you're fine. We'll give you, we'll let you be out of line at least once, so, no, good question. We passed that 1%, actually, we have it posted online, the various projects, the various water and road projects. In fact, it's upwards of, I think, $20 to $30 million in projects that we have on tap.
Is that what you're estimating, the money?
Yeah, but it's only gonna be a little bit over $1 million a year of additional money. So again, we have to do this over time, but, you know, again, it's, you know, we have to stay on the maintenance, obviously, as each year goes by.
Will be like recovered, will
Exactly, yeah, resurfacing roads, alleys are on there. You know, again, it's all about what needs it and what's gonna benefit the village the most, right? You know, you know, we go by, you know, that's what the board's here to do, is prioritize those projects.
When I drive through, especially when I come off McCarthy Road, and I go through the historic district, and I go, this is so lovely, and then I look down at the roads, and I'm thinking, wouldn't this be like a movie if the roads were all repaved and everything was, it would just be so gently.
We're getting there, so, again, thank you for coming out tonight.
Well, thank you for taking the time to, and Rick for mentioning
Yeah, we've never met before, so.
Okay.
This
All
was
right.
not a staged
He
event.
wants to clarify that.
Rick does anything for a vote, doesn't he?
Rick loves roads, so that's kind of right.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Rick. Anyone else? All right, so with that being said, we're gonna go in, no other unfinished or new business. We need a motion. We are going to have an executive session tonight, which means, we will have the public walk out. And this will be only for the board. And this, I need a motion to go into executive session to discuss under Chapter 5, ILCS of the Open Meetings Act, pending litigation, Section 2C11, as well as real estate purchase or lease, Section 2C5. Can I please have a motion?
So move.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Stapleton, seconded by
Second.
trustee Snagowski. Roll call, please.
Okay, Maher,
Yes.
McClafferty absent, Snagowski,
Yes.
Stapleton,
Yes.
Kittredge.
Yes.
Kwasniewski.
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. So we are going to have the audience or the public exit. We do not perceive or expect a decision from executive session. So go ahead and please, this officially ends our public section of the meeting.